Hello everyone, this is the Tornado Man here. Welcome back to another video. And today I'm continuing the Spinning Tornado Music Takes series. And I'm going to be talking about my 10 favorite bands. While it's mostly rock and, well, progressive rock to be more specific, I have some other interesting takes as well. And I do also consider duos as bands, but there will not be any solo artists in this video. So, let's get this through. And starting off with my 10th favorite, I'm starting off really weird. It'll be this underground American band known as The Residents. Now, this music is very weird, to say the least. Very avant-garde. They started off in the 70s, and they're still kicking strong today. And there's like tons of albums. Personally, my favorite is the debut, but they also have a lot of really amazing, but still really strange and weird and uncanny. I also really like how they deconstruct popular songs and make something new out of it. Like mangle it, deconstruct it, and everything like that. My favorite cover would probably be Burning Love. I forgot where it's from, but if you search up The Residents Burning Love, yeah, you will hear it. But moving on. My 9th favorite band is Genesis. Now we're gonna see a pattern in this video, as I really love progressive rock. So don't be surprised to see more of those. But anyways, Genesis is probably highly controversial, since there's like two different eras. You got the Peter Gabriel's, progressive rock era, and you got Phil Collins' more commercial pop era. And well, I kind of actually like both of those eras respectively, even though I slightly preferred the Prog era. I can't not deny that some of the pop songs are also really catchy, such as That's All, and etc. But my favorite Genesis album is probably either Nursery Crime or Lamb Lies Down on Broadway. Lamb Lies Down is probably the best rock opera album. And, yeah. My 8th favorite band, well, technically duo, but I'll still count it anyways, might be shock, but it's Daft Punk. Now, I am not the biggest house fan, as I rarely listen to it outside of Daft Punk, but I will admit, they have a really consistent discography, and it's great tunes all the time. I could just dance non-stop to whatever album I'm put on. Personally, my favorite would have to be Discovery. Though, my favorite song is a little hard to pinpoint, as I really like songs like One More Time. I also like Face to Face, which is basically my first introduction into the genre of plunderphonics. I don't know how they managed to fit 30 samples in there and still sound amazing, but it does. And yeah, really cool electronic house duo. And yeah. My 7th favorite band is the Moody Blues. Now we're back at the oldiesville. While a lot of 60s bands did like pop rock, such as the Beatles and the Beach Boys, I actually gravitated more towards the Moody Blues compared to the others, as I like their more orchestral and progressive approach. Piner's keyboard playing is phenomenal, and not mentioning the combined styles makes it a really wonderful experience, especially for the album Days of Future Past. Probably the best 60s record, I'm not gonna lie. It brings you on through this really great experience. So, if you haven't heard of the Moody Blues before, please at least listen to Days of Future Past. You will not regret it. My sixth favorite band is Duster. Now, I'm not normally a big fan of slowcore, but the memes actually kind of brought me to this amazing band. Even though it has this like dark and kind of like depressing atmosphere, it really works wonder, even with its kind of like lo-fi things. My favorite is their debut album, Stratosphere. That is a wonderful album, such as melodies from like Gold Dust, the deep feedback such as the title track, and really engaging tracks such as I forgot. Oh yeah, Inside Out. It's a really great band. Even if you're not a fan of like the slowcore or slacker rock or whatever, I will still give this a listen, as it has a really nice melancholical experience, and I think it's a really wonderful band. My fifth favorite band, quotation, is Boards of Canada. Yet again, another duo technically, but I'll still count it. Now, Boards of Canada is probably my favorite electronic artist, period. Unlike most other electronic artists, instead of prioritizing percussion, Boards of Canada kind of like puts melody first over percussion. And a lot of their albums have this like nostalgic feeling, as it's also kind of like ambient adjacent as well. It really makes a nice experience. It also includes, well, sampling children's voices and other clips of like obscure TV shows from, well, Canada. I think it's really cool how they implement it. My favorite album is probably Music Has the Right to Children. It is lush, it's colorful, and yet again it feels like vintage-like, while it still kind of sounds like fresh at the same time. I don't know how to really describe it, but if you're looking for electronic music that isn't all too crazy and a lot more laid back, listen to Boards of Canada. And my fourth favorite artist, what do you know, it's another progressive rock band. It is Yes. Yes is probably most infamous for the song Roundabout. You know, the funny To Be Continued / JoJo song, you know. If you heard that bass line, you know what the song is. But I'm not going to talk about that. There's a lot of different albums from them, and they all seem like kind of grand, taking elements from classical and turning it into masterpieces with rock instruments. My favorite is well, close to the edge. Some parts is mechanical with like nature-like things. Then you get interrupted by a church organ. And the last like 3 minutes is epic. It's really groovy. That bass line is killer and everything. Of course, Close to the Edge isn't just their great album, as they have a lot more others. I really like Tales of Topographic Ocean. I love Gates of Delirium. But yeah, I think it's a really great start point if you don't really like classical but love rock. And also, yeah, it's just a nice experience for both calming yet exciting at the same time, if I want to put it. My third favorite band is King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. Since it's a mouthful to say, I'll just say King Gizzard for now on. King Gizzard is an Australian psychedelic rock band. Have put out a lot of albums. I think there's like 26 albums currently. And what I like about them is that almost every single album is fire, despite having a lot of different genres. While most of it still sticks with psychedelic and garage rock, there's other genres as well, like Paper Mache is folk. There's some rap rock songs on Omni and Gavrim. Fishing for Fishies is psychedelic pop. Silver Cord is electronic. Infest the Rat's Nest is thrash metal. And you can kind of see like they did a lot of different genres. But yeah, no matter if you're a jazz fan, a rock fan, or whatever, there's at least one song that I think you'll love in King Gizzard and Lizard Wizard. And I pretty much liked everything they put out, so yeah, that's my third favorite band. My favorite album by them is probably a safe guess. It is Not a Gone Infinity. I like how it loops infinite. And, well, not mentioning is just non-stop, all killer, no filler. I like the opening track the most, Robot Stop. Unbelievably catchy, but still. My close second favorite from that is probably Gower Knife, but yeah, let's move on. My second favorite band is King Crimson. Yet another progressive rock band. Man, I need to listen to more stuff. But anyways, what I really like about King Crimson, even though it's not the easiest band to get into, is that they also do quite a bit of a lot of stuff while still sticking with the experimentation and still sticking with its roots. Like, take for example, the album Islands is like jazz fusion. At some parts it's really soft and calming, like the title track, while Sailor's Tales can get really heavy. Especially during that time when it came out in 1971, where like heavy metal was at its infancy. It just blows me away. And same thing with Red, which is also really heavy. King Crimson also has a lot of different eras. So in the 80s eras, they got this like Talking Heads new wave era, but I really love it, especially with the album Discipline. It's an amazing new wave album. I even prefer it over any Talking Heads album. Sorry if that's a hot take or not. And of course you got the debut album, which is also amazing. But yeah, let's move on to my favorite band. And I hope it's not controversial since it's a really safe choice. But I'll probably have to go with Pink Floyd as my favorite band. I'll admit it, that's not my favorite progressive rock in general, but they also do psychedelic rock, rock opera, and I really love those eras as well. I think Dark Side of the Moon is overrated. You know, Wish You Were Here is like a perfect album experience. It almost goes all heavy and cool sounding. And while The Wall is not my favorite rock opera, it's still really amazing. And the story behind it is really cohesive and put together well. And another album that I don't think a lot of people talked about, I really like Obscured by Clouds. It really mixes this progressive and psychedelic really well together. So, while not my favorite Floyd album, it's really underrated, I will have to say. But that's pretty much it of this video. I hope you enjoyed this, and hopefully I can do more of these music talks later. Bye!
One.